unfortunately, I've been thinking again, so I'm going to rant some more.
I don't know how to express myself unless through anger and personal attack.
So I was at a school this week, one of the many that I visited, to look at their conditions in their theaters. And I went into one where I took a look around before everybody got there and noticed some serious safety problems in the stage rigging and other parts of the systems. Kinds of things where you wonder, should that really be attached to that piece of steel? Because that doesn't look nearly heavy enough for what's hanging on it. And why is that steel bending?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, I don't really know how to respond to that, sir.
And then things that have been completely abandoned in theater for many years. Certain types of rigging, we won't even talk about what it is. But anyway, so I wander around and I look at all this stuff, and I see things like a rack of 22 relatively brand new wireless systems with antennas put in locations where they can't possibly work properly. And then looking at other things in the space, and then we get a meeting with the owner to talk about what they want to do. So they asked me what I think. I said, well, let's talk about what you want to do. So the number one thing they want is to replace all of their audio equipment because of the problems they're having. And I'm looking at relatively new audio equipment. And so I start asking questions. Is it when somebody's using a handheld mic? No. It's during shows. There's all these noises. All kinds of weird crackling noises and stuff. And I said, well, what kind of microphones are you using? They're all using lavaliers, lapel mics on actors. And there's 22 of them. I was like, so who's running the console? Well, we got a kid that does this and does that. I said, how many mics do you have turned on at a time? Well, quite a few. And do you know what a noise gate is? Not so much. So anyway, you find out that that's kind of ridiculous. Then you find out they want to replace all of their lighting with LED because that's really important. So in all the things we talked about, everything they want to do, completely ignoring blatant safety problems. Now, these are not the kind of safety problems that are going to kill somebody tomorrow, but they could kill somebody 6 months from now. So I get into talking with them and said, out of your budget, we really need to allocate money to fix all this rigging. And they're like, well, I don't know. We really need all this other stuff. And I'm just amazed that even when you point out all of the fallacies of what they're thinking and the safety issues of what they have to do, they're using sandbag.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Sandbag hemp line rigging on stage. And they're lifting things that weigh 400 or 500 pounds. And it's so dangerous. I mean, you need 2 or 3 hefty guys to safely bring in or take out any one of these things. And then they're having to estimate how many 80-pound sandbags to tie onto these things. So anyway, after being there and looking at that, you realize that people that use equipment don't always understand what they're doing. They don't always understand priorities. Priority number one in a theater should always be safety.
What's rule number 1?
Party?
No, not party. No, it's not party.
Priority number 2 should be function. Priority number 3 should be training. Because I don't care what you get. If you don't know how to use it, it's either unsafe or you're going to get bad results. But this one just kind of boggled my mind because their priorities were totally reversed from what needed to be done. So we're going to be writing up a report. Hopefully they'll decide to do the rigging and not the other things. But you never know.